Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Kentucky State Police are investigating a break-in that has left 2 men in the hospital.
A crash in Scott County left a woman dead overnight.
And powerful storms rolled through the bluegrass, and apparently they're not done yet. We'll have those stories and more, and breaking news as it happens. It's coming up on WKYT This Morning. Good morning to you after a noisy night for many with some of those storms rolling through. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. For the first track on the weather to see how things stand right now, let's turn to meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, outside right now, it's pretty loud down in the southern zones. You go south of 64, and that's where we're holding on to some pretty ugly conditions. And you can see it stretching all the way towards, say, the Mountain Parkway and also how Rogers Parkway. So you're hearing some lightning strikes, or seeing some lightning strikes, hearing some thunder. But we do have a severe thunderstorm warning back toward your Greene County, Taylor County, and making your way toward Adair as well, the northern portions of Adair. And you're seeing a lot of lightning out there, very heavy downpours, and even possibly some small hail. And that's been the case the past 24 hours. That goes until 3:35 Central Time, not Eastern Time. It's right there on the line, so keep that in mind. 56 degrees now in Lexington, 51 in Frankfort. It is chilly outside. I mean, let's don't call it chilly. It's cool outside. And so that's kind of throwing a little wrench in the severe weather department due to the fact we're not looking at the possibility of some strong winds. It's more of your hail threat, and that's what's going to be happening throughout the day. Is we're not looking at as good of a chance as yesterday, but the chance is still there, and that's why we're holding on to that first alert severe weather day. We'll really break down this forecast coming to you in about 10 minutes.
All right, Micah, thank you. We'll see you then. And new this morning, Scott County Sheriff's authorities are saying that a woman is dead after a crash overnight.
The Scott County coroner identified the victim as 46-year-old Melanie Morton of Stamping Ground. Scott County Sheriff's deputies say Morton and a male passenger were going southbound on Kentucky 226 when they went off the road and hit a tree. The man was taken to UK hospital with minor injuries, but Morton was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators think alcohol may have been a factor in the crash.
We've learned the identity now of a woman killed in an accident yesterday. Police say 34-year-old Chastity Mills of Lexington died after a crash early Monday morning. Investigators believe she lost control on Old Todd's Road and crashed her car into a tree. Mill was taken to UK hospital where she later died. Firefighters say wet roads and speed caused the crash. And new this morning, Kentucky State Police say 2 men were taken to UK hospital after they tried to break into a house overnight. It happened just after midnight this morning on Lee Drive in Madison County. It's just north of Richmond. State Police say the 2 men broke into the house and were met by the homeowner and his son, who physically restrained the would-be burglars until police got there. They were then taken to UK hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Their charges at this point have not been filed.
Well, a man charged in connection with a deadly robbery in Winchester now faces charges in another crime. Richmond police charged Curtis Wilkerson with robbery. They say he and Davon Marshall robbed a man September 23rd at a home in Richmond. Police say the 2 stole money and that Wilkerson and the victim knew each other. Later that same day, police say Wilkerson and Marshall tried to rob the 96 truck stop in Winchester, but police say the business owner shot Marshall during the robbery. He died later. Police need your help tracking down a man who robbed a Lexington bank. It happened Monday morning at the Whitaker Bank on West Lowry Lane. Lexington police say the man walked up to the teller, implied he had a weapon, and demanded money. That robber got away, but police released some surveillance pictures of him. This is the 4th bank robbery in Lexington in less than a month.
Family members of a man who was killed on a trail ride in eastern Kentucky say the event should have more security. Police say Miles Hamilton shot Zachary Murphy during an argument at the Knott County trail ride over the weekend. Murphy later died. Police have charged Hamilton with that murder. Murphy's father said the event didn't have enough police officers to provide adequate security. He also said he couldn't understand why anyone would want to hurt his son.
Still hurt real bad and stuff, and I don't know what to say about that. I hope they do something, because that Zach sure didn't deserve that.
Murphy would have turned 20 years old today. Hamilton wouldn't talk to us from jail. He is scheduled to be arraigned later today. Lexington police say they still have not arrested anyone in a deadly home invasion from over the weekend. Police say the 2 men broke into a home on Addy Alley Sunday morning and killed Darnell Bates. Bates worked at the Goo Goo Car Wash on North Limestone for the last 5 years and was recently promoted to general manager there. His co-workers want to know who killed him.
We just want to be brought to justice. You know, he really didn't deserve it. She was a great person, brightened up the room every time he came in. It's a horrible tragedy.
Bates's co-workers have started a fund to help his family pay for his funeral costs. They've raised $250 so far.
Investigators say they found 2 people dead inside a burning home in Harrison County. The fire started Monday morning along Grays Run Pike near Cynthiana. Investigators still trying to figure out what caused the fire and the 2 deaths. WKYT's Jerica Insko has more.
It wasn't the way anyone on Grays Run Pike expected to start their week.
My buddy started beating on the door, and he's like, call 911.
That's when Alan Fuller, who lives next door,
I was the first one there.
found himself right in the middle of it all.
And I saw the flame coming out right above the front porch there, and I was like, oh my God, their house is on fire.
Not knowing if anyone was inside, Fuller sprung out of bed and into action to help as he watched his neighbor's home go up in flames.
And I come right up here to this back door, and all I could hear was a dog hollering. I kicked the door like, bam! And then a pig come running out of it. I tried to save the dog too, but I couldn't. There wasn't no way I could get in there.
He says the smoke was too thick as he busted out a window.
I mean, it was as black as the roof coming out of the door.
But he had a feeling people were inside along with that dog and a cat. We are told the fire started in the living room towards the front of the home, but as for how the fire started and who was killed, officials aren't saying. The coroner just confirms 2 adults, one being a man, are dead. 2 children who live in the home were said to be at school at the time of the fire.
We've not been able to identify them at this point. Of course, we have no cause of death, but actually pending investigation, we'll have that information for you.
State police, an arson investigator, fire officials, and the coroner were all on scene for hours as neighbors like Fuller tried to piece together what happened.
I'll remember it for the rest of my life.
But for now, no one knows what really happened with the investigation pending. In Harrison County, Jerica Insko, WKYT.
And the 2 bodies have been sent to Frankfurt for autopsies. They have not yet been identified. Investigators are not ruling out foul play in this. Well, so much hail fell in Madison County. It actually covered up some roads and even Interstate 75. Many of you sent an eyewitness video like this one. The hail left a blanket of white, looked a lot like snow on I-75 and nearby roads as it quickly accumulated on the ground. WKYT's Victor Puente talked to someone who rode out a severe storm in Madison County last night. He continues our first alert weather team coverage.
Earlier today, the ground in Richmond looked like it had been snowing, but it was actually hail. It covered the ground and made for a slow drive on the interstate.
Viewers sent us this video of the hail as it accumulated on I-75 near the 87 exit. Matt Hoskins also took video just outside his door.
I felt these hard raindrops and I looked around and it started hailing really hard. It was like pea-sized hail. It was coming down really hard.
Hoskins watched as the hail grew in intensity, worrying it might cause some damage.
I saw some hail start to get a little bit bigger. I was a little worried about the damage on the car, but it didn't do no damage at all.
But hail wasn't the only issue Richmond faced. Heavy lightning stayed in the area and even struck the Kentucky State Police post. Troopers tell us it caused some electrical damage, but didn't interfere with any 911 calls.
I was like, it's too early for this. I mean, being October and everything, it's early. Looked like snow after a while.
Dispatchers here tell me they did have a few wrecks before that hail melted away. They tell me no one was injured in any of those crashes. In Madison County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
An unbelievable scene there with the snow-like situation you saw there on the interstate. All right, with just a month to go, Democrat Allison Lundergan Grimes now has a slight lead in the U.S. Senate race. According to the new WKYT Herald Leader Bluegrass poll, it finds Grimes ahead of Senator Mitch McConnell, 46% for Grimes, 44% for McConnell. The Bluegrass poll found Grimes gaining 16 points in eastern Kentucky. 57% said they think McConnell has been in office too long and should be replaced. 8 out of every 10 people say they have made up their minds. The fight is now for the remaining 18% undecided. To read more about the Bluegrass poll results, go to WKYT.com. The Fayette County School Board met and talked about the results of a recent school audit. The audit raised concerns about financial mismanagement, salary increases for administrators, and communication within the district. Fayette County Superintendent Tom Shelton says the district is making progress in fixing the issues the audit raised. The superintendent is currently working with outside consultants to help formulate a corrective action plan, which is due in the beginning of November.